Hey everybody, it's Reckless. So, in this video I will recap everything we know so far about the Taken King expansion. All the information that I am about to say is after Gamescom and prior to any Twitch stream that Bungie actually has planned. Now, I would like to apologize ahead of time if any reference I make during this video offends anyone. I promise you, it is not meant to be offensive in any way, shape, or form. But if you're a little puss and decide to still get offended, well then, I don't care. And you probably should stop being so sensitive. So, let's get started. One of the big topics in the Taken King are the new subclasses for each class that you will have to unlock during different individual missions. Those subclasses are the Stormcaller for the Warlock, the Night Stalker for the Hunter, and the Sunbreaker for the Titan. I will put a link in the description below that explains all of those classes. So, the new subclasses' super abilities have like a Native American feel to them. And what I mean by this is the Titan Sunbreaker subclass gets a hammer shaped like a tomahawk. The Hunter's Night Stalker class gets a bow and arrow. And the Warlock's Stormcaller subclass shoots lightning from his hands. Force lightning, anybody? No? Okay, well, I guess I'm the only Star Wars geek here. So, moving on. There will be new character designs, and some of the new character designs also have that Native American feel that I just spoke of. So, moving away from the character designs, the new level cap in the Taken King will be level 40. You will no longer need a light level to increase levels. Leveling is done through experience once again. The Taken King will have an improved light leveling system. They are not getting rid of it, but the mechanics on how it works will change. Now, your light dictates how powerful you are, and it is a combination of your attack and defense ratings on your weapons and armor. There will be certain missions that will say recommended light in order to do that mission. So, light is still very much important. Your character level before the Taken King will be your character level when you start the Taken King. For example, if you are a level 34, you will start the Taken King as a level 34. If you are a level 27, then you will start the Taken King as a level 27. When we actually start the story mode for the Taken King, the enemies will start out on level 25 in the normal story mode. However, some clips have shown the enemies to be level 20, so you can expect that the recommended level for the Taken King is in between 20 and 25. However, prior to actually starting the Taken King story mode, every player in the Taken King will get a boost consumable in the tower. I want to assume you'll get it at the Postmaster to auto level you up to the current level that is required to play the Taken King. So given the previous statement I made, I want to say that the boost consumable will bring your level to 24 or to 25. Now, is this fair to everyone who grinded to get their respective levels? No, it's not. But the Taken King was meant to allow new players to Destiny to just jump right in the action without having to go through the first two expansions. Personally, I think they should have to go through the grind just like everybody else. But who am I to dictate that? So let's talk about the new enemy in the Taken King, which are the Taken. The Taken are combatants like the Cabal, Vex, High, Fallen, that were ripped out of our dimensions and corrupted by the darkness. The Taken were created by Oryx, who is the father of Crota, from which we, as Guardians, decided it was a good idea to kill. And now Oryx wants revenge. The Taken have new abilities and movements from their original counterparts, so we won't be able to anticipate any of the enemy's attacks or defenses. So Luke Smith was in an interview with Game Informer, and he said that there will be 3 to 4 new strikes and 7 to 8 new Crucible maps in the Taken King. So that leads me to believe that there will be 3 new strikes for Xbox and 4 for PSN, and 7 new Crucible maps for Xbox and 8 for PSN. As we know, PSN gets the extra strike and Crucible maps due to the exclusive content. As for the vault, it will have some type of new architecture that will do more than just increase the space, but that's all that has been said so far at the time of this recording. Deej did go on to say that they will do a full walkthrough of the tower later on through Twitch. Hopefully with the Taken King, they actually opened up some of them doors that were actually locked prior to the Taken King. I actually have a video on that, and I will put a link to it in the description below. Luke Smith also did say that there will be more ghost skins, but they will be coming sometime this fall, and no exact time was given. He also continues to say that the 3-player limit for fire teams may increase sometime in the future. So you will be allowed to skip cutscenes in the Taken King. However, why would you if it's your first time going through? And you will also be able to skip some of the minor fights. All you gotta do is just keep sprinting. One random fact that came up in Luke Smith's interview with Game Informer was that Osiris is not dead. But whether he would make an appearance in the Taken King is yet to be confirmed. Now, have you ever been bored at the loading screen and just wish you had something to do? Well, in the Taken King, they will be adding something, they haven't actually said what, but to the loading screens for you to actually do. And if that wasn't enough, then this is gonna get you like really excited. The Taken King will actually have a story. Yeah, a story that is supposed to fill in the blanks from the previous expansions. Go figure, right? Luke Smith also said that the Taken King campaign will be long. However, he didn't say how long yet, but apparently way longer than the previous expansions. Now, the first mission in the Taken King takes place on Phobos, but can only be accessed through a specific mission. So there is no patrol mode on Phobos, unfortunately. Deej had said, and I quote, "The Hive ship, the Dreadnought, is Oryx's, the Taken King's capital ship. You can patrol it. It's home to its own story missions, its own strikes. It's home to the King's Fall raid, which is the biggest raid we've ever created." Deej continued to say, "The Dreadnought will have its own bounties, new activities. It has the Court of Oryx, which is a player-instigated public event that puts you against different combinations of bosses and scenarios. Unfortunately, sparrows will not be accessible in the Dreadnought, so you'll be on foot during the whole time." So next, let's talk about a few bosses that actually were mentioned, or actually shown. Cyrock, Word of Oryx, is a mini-boss in the first mission where you go and investigate a Cabal base in the Taken King. While Darkblade is a boss in a strike that will take place on the Dreadnought. There are hidden loot and bosses inside the Dreadnought that you will have to find. And it is said that there is a lot more loot drops in the Taken King than Destiny has ever seen. So, myself being one of the 1,000 loot cave veterans, will have to test that theory out. It is also said that there will be more mission variety in the Taken King, meaning story and bounties. The Taken King will possibly be easier to find exotics, which I personally don't agree with. I feel exotics should be the hardest thing to get in the game, and I am sure many of you can agree with me on that. Update 2.0 will be released around when the Taken King is released, whether it be before or sometime after, I am not too sure. Bungie has yet to let us know about that, but if you don't know what Update 2.0 is, I will put a link to that in the description below as well. Now let's get to talking about the Year 1 weapons, from which Year 1 weapons will not be upgradable in the Taken King, meaning your Fatebringer, Thorn, Hawkmoon, Vision of Confluence, Gjallarhorn, Truth, etc. But even though the Year 1 weapons will not be able to be upgraded, they will still be playable in the old raids and in the normal Crucible mode. The Taken King is said to have the largest arsenal of new weapons Destiny has ever seen. New Foundry weapons like Soros, Haka, and Omelon. If you actually go into the tower, you can actually see Haka crates all over the place. According to Luke Smith, there will be a lot of new music coming to the Taken King. So, Peter Dinklage, aka Dinklebot, who was the voice of the Ghost prior to the Taken King, will no longer be the Ghost when the Taken King comes out. Peter Dinklage will be replaced by Nolan North, who plays Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series. However, Nolan North hasn't just done Uncharted. He actually has a whole lineup of games, TV shows, and even movies that he's actually done voiceovers for. A few honorable mentions is Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that's coming out later on this year. He does a voiceover for Edward Richtofen. In Batman Arkham Knight, he does Oswald Cobblepot and the Penguin. He does a voice in Lego Jurassic World and several voiceovers in Hulk and the Agents of Smash, which is a TV show. And the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he does a couple of voiceovers. Nolan has actually also done a voiceover for Dying Light. He was Bernard Smith, the Cuisine and Cargo. I guess it was a DLC thing that came out for that. And the last couple of honorable mentions is he was in Star Wars The Old Republic, Shadow of Revan. He was a Jedi Consular male voice. He did a voiceover for Lego Batman 3 Gotham Beyond for Beast Boy, Condiment King, and Firestorm. And then the last one that I'm actually going to mention is he was in Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. He did a voiceover for The Black Hand of Sauron and Nemesis Orcs. So, as you can tell, Nolan North has actually been around. It's not like he's some new guy that only did one type of series. He has plenty of things going on right now in his career. So, getting back to The Taken King, Nolan North would also be re-recording all of Peter Dinklage's phrases and everything he said previous to The Taken King. So going back real quick to Luke Smith's interview with Game Informer, Luke Smith hesitated when asked, quote, "Is there a possibility that the Traveler is secretly evil?" End quote. But Luke Smith did continue to say that in time we'll discuss more. Now let's get to talk about factions and what's coming new to them. You will now be able to declare an allegiance to your faction instead of wearing a faction class item. However, you can still wear a faction class item if you would like. You can declare an allegiance to a faction by going to the leader of the requested faction and talking to them. Once you declare an allegiance with a faction, you will unlock faction-specific bounties, and you will receive faction-specific rewards for completing those bounties. Once you finish a bounty, you can turn it in wherever you currently are, so there is no need to return to the bounty boards except to get new missions. The Taken King will indeed have more bounty space, along with a few new changes to the UI. Hopefully, sometime in the future, before the Taken King actually gets released, Bungie will actually do a Twitch stream to show us that. So now let's talk a little bit more about the weapons system and how that's actually going to work. You will be able to work with the gunsmith in order to get new weapons. You will also be able to work with the Vanguard to acquire class-specific items. The Taken King will also have class-specific weapons, which means Warlocks, Titans, and Hunters will have weapons that only their class can use. Not only will the Taken King come with 3 to 4 new strikes, however, they will also come with 3 current strikes that will be revised with the Taken infused in those strikes. So, my last bit of information, the Taken King will not be on PC, personal computer. Whether it will be available later on in life, Bungie has not made any comments on that. However, there has been talk about Destiny coming to the PC for quite some time now, but there's no confirmation on that at all. So, with all that said, according to Bungie, this is why the Taken King is worth $40 instead of $20 like the previous expansions. However, this is only some of the stuff that Bungie has told us so far. There are still things that they hadn't said or revealed and will be revealing over the next couple of weeks prior to the release of the Taken King. Our best bet right now is to pretty much sit, look pretty, and wait till we actually hear something from Bungie. So with all this said, I guess the final question is, what can you do right now in Destiny to kill some time in order to wait for the Taken King to come out? Well, I'm actually going to make a video on that. When new content comes out, I will be making videos as soon as possible. That way everyone stays updated. So, let me know what you guys think about the video in the comments below. This is Reckless, and I will see you guys later.